Hello everyone, welcome to Neha Kakkar Science Tutorials, and today we are going to discuss a very important chapter of science, chapter soil. By the end of this module, you will be able to learn about the soil and its formation, soil profile, its types, properties, and soil and crops. So let's move. First of all, we will discuss what is soil. Air has extremely fine solid particles suspended in it. You can easily observe them in a light beam that enters a dark room. These particles move here and there in a zigzag movement, and their movement is also called as Brownian movement. Well, the dust particles that comes if you have ever observed a beam of light that they settle on your books, study table, and in the street as dust. Now, have you ever wondered what this dust is and where does it come from? These dust particles are soil particles. Now, first of all, we will discuss that what is soil, but before that, I will tell you that science dealing with the study of soil is called as pedology, where pedo means earth. Okay, now starting with, okay, so this is soil, and you can see in the picture, it supports the diverse growth of various kinds of vegetation. Now, soil is one of the most important natural resource. Like we have air and water as our natural resources because they are provided by the nature. They are not man-made. Similarly, soil is also formed naturally, and it is one of the most important natural resource. Next is it is the uppermost layer of the earth crust. As we know that our earth is made up of different kind of layers, crust, mantle and core. So the uppermost layer of the earth crust is covered with soil only. Third is the soil is blackish brown in color. And what does it contain? It contains water, that is air has moisture. It contains air, and it is also a natural habitat of various kind of living creatures like rodents, mole, ants, earthworm, fungi, and bacteria. So soil is basically the most important part of land and most important natural resource. We can define it simply as the uppermost layer of the earth crust in which plant grows. Now next we will talk about the importance of soil, or you can say the functions of soil. So here you can see various points are written. So first point is that it acts as a medium for the growth of plants. Obviously, soil supports the growth of plant by holding the forms of the roots firmly and supplying water and nutrients to the plant. Next is it is the habitat for the soil organism. As I have told you that it acts as a natural habitat for a number of microorganisms and living creatures. So it is a home of number of living creatures. Third point is it is a system for water supply and purification. Yes, soil purifies water biologically, physically, and chemically, and also acts as a water supply. It is a recycling system for nutrients and organic waste. As the biodegradable waste, they decompose and forms a part of the soil, and then they act as a nutrient, essential nutrients which are required by the plants. Next, apart from it, it is required for the engineering medium because soil is also required in the construction works, and it is also essential for agriculture. It provides us with food, clothing, and shelter. So this is the importance of soil. So we can say soil helps in the growth of plant. It acts as a habitat for all organisms, or it's a place where many organisms live. So I think it without soil life is not possible, because without soil there will be no plants, and if there is no plants, then obviously life on the earth is not possible. So we can say soil is very much essential for our living. Now moving to third slide that talks of the formation of soil, that how the soil forms. first important point in this is that soil formation is slow and gradual process. It is not a fast process, but formation of soil is a very slow process because it takes around thousands of years to form a layer of soil. How it is formed? It is formed by the breakdown of rocks by the action of water, ice, climate or temperature changes, wind, and even living organisms. And these all are called as the agents of weathering, right? So the process of formation of soil from the breakdown of rock is called as weathering. This process is called as weathering, where the various agents of weathering, they break the large piece of rock to form the fine particles, which is called as soil. Okay, so these are called as the agent of weathering. We have discussed wind, water, ice, and temperature changes. Now, next is the profile of soil. Before talking about this picture as shown here, I will first tell you that what is soil profile. Soil profile is basically the vertical section of the soil which shows its different layers. So the vertical section, which is showing the layers of the or the horizon of the soil, is called as the soil profile. There are three horizons called as A, B, and C horizon, and the last there is a bedrock, or also known as parent rock. So basically, we have divided the soil into four parts: A horizon, B horizon, C horizon, and last is bedrock. So first, we will discuss about A horizon. A horizon is also called as the topsoil. It is the uppermost layer of the soil, and because it contains humus in it, so it is dark in color. Okay, topsoil has humus and minerals in it. Because of presence of humus and minerals, it is somehow dark in color, and humus is very much essential for the growth of plants. So most of the plants are grown in the A horizon only. We can say A horizon provides nutrients in plants, and most of the plants' roots are confined to this layer only. Next is B horizon. So below A horizon there lies B horizon, or we also called it as subsoil, and it consists of sand, silt, and clay. So the layer of the soil just below the topsoil is subsoil. It is made up of slightly bigger rock particles than that of topsoil. This layer doesn't has much humus, and it is comparatively light in color. You can also see in the picture, it is dark color layer A horizon, and B horizon is slightly lighter in color than topsoil. A horizon is very porous. This because of the presence of humus in it, it is very much soft and porous and contains very good amount of water in it. But here, the B horizon, it is comparatively compact and hard than the topsoil. So only the roots, which are very much harder, can penetrate to this layer, and it also doesn't has large amount of humus in it, so it is comparatively less fertile than topsoil, and contains few living organisms only, but it is rich in minerals and iron oxides. Now we have discussed A horizon, we have discussed B horizon. Now third we will discuss about C horizon. C horizon or substratum is a layer of soil which lies below subsoil. It is called a C horizon. It consists of small pieces of broken rocks which has some cracks and crevices in it. So it is weathered rock material is present here. I have tell you what does weathering mean. Weathering means when the large pieces of rocks break down. So when the large pieces of rock material it get weathered, it get weathered into some smaller pieces of rocks, broken rocks. So it forms the C horizon. Below sea horizon is the last section, which is called as the parent rock or the bedrock. It is formed of the unweathered soil, unweathered solid rock. This is non porous. Non porous means there are large, big rocks are present here. So it is completely unweathered and it doesn't contain or hold any kind of water. Yes, but it when rain comes, so it seeps down below the soil and rainwater get collected over it. It doesn't seeps below the bedrock, but it gets collected over here and it forms the water table, right? So this layer is hard enough and is difficult to dig with the help of any kind of spade. So these are typically the four sections of the soil which form the soil profile. Moving on. So here is a quick review what we have just discussed. The topsoil is for the A horizon, has humus, which makes it dark in color. It is rich in nutrient. It retains a good amount of water and is the home of many living organisms. B horizon contains do not contains much humus and minerals and has a compact and hard texture. C horizon has small pieces of rocks with cracks in them and partly weathered rocks are present here. And last is bedrock that contains unweathered or rocks, big pieces of rocks. So this layer forms the water table also. Now moving on to another topic, that is the different types of soil. So here in this picture you can see there are different kinds of soil. First one is gravel. You can see it consists of comparatively very larger pieces of rocks. It is also called as like bajri in Hindi. These are the only tiny stones which are present in the topsoil. Next is sand. You are also aware of sand. These are also large particles. Then third one is silt. The size of the soil particle of silt is somewhat between sand and clay. We will discuss about these types of soil one by one. And last is clay. The finest of all is clay. The soil particle of clay are the finest. So let's discuss and read about them one by one. So first we will discuss about sand. You can see in the picture, these are the sandy soil particles. They are the big particles that have large air spaces between them. Sandy soil are bigger pieces of soil. The particles of soil are comparatively bigger and that has a lot of air spaces in between them. So we can say that they are well aerated soil. Because there is a gap between the particles, so it cannot hold or retain much water. Because it cannot hold much water, it is dry in nature, and it also do not support the growth of plants, obviously, because it doesn't hold much water, it is dry in nature, so it doesn't support the plant growth. Next is the clay soil. Clay soil consists of very fine particles, and because they are very fine particles, so the space between the particles is very less. When there is a very less space between the particles, obviously it doesn't contain large amount of air in it, and since because it doesn't contain spaces between the particles, so it allows high retention of water. Water retained in clay soil because there is no space for the water to penetrate from the clay soil. Since it holds a lot of a good amount of water, so it is suitable for the growth of different kind of plants, and it is used in pottery purposes also. If you have ever made any uh, pottery, so it's a sticky kind of soil which is used, and that is only clay soil. Next is silt soil. Silt soil particles are smaller than that of sandy soil but larger than clay soil. So as I've told you that silt soil particle size are between sandy and clay soil. Now the second point is that it hold water to a good extent because of its fine quality and generally found near the water bodies. They are also rich in nutrients. They are very much fertile and hence suitable for agriculture. Now, the loamy soil is the best soil among all because it is a mixture of sandy, clay, and the silt soil. So it contains a good amount of humus in it. It contains similar amount of large and small particles in them because it's a mixture of different kinds of soil, and hence its combination of sandy, clay, silt, or its soil particles, has some smaller particles, some larger particles. It has good amount of humus in it, so it is the best soil and support a very good amount of. um it supports the growth of plant. It's contain water in very appropriate amount, and that's why it is also called as agricultural soil because of their fertility and appropriate texture. It is smooth, partially gritty, and sticky soil. It has also a good amount of calcium, and the pH level is comparatively very high. So this picture shows the soil particle size of these three different kinds of soil: sand, silt, and clay. Sand, you can see here the bigger or the closer view. Here the sand particle size are very big. It is magnified up to 10 times. So here the particles are very big and size lies between 0.05 millimeter to 2 millimeter. If we talk about clay, then closer view will give that it has particle size less than 0.002. So very fine particles are present in clay soil. Now silt is, the particle size is between the sandy and clay soil. It is 0.002 millimeter to 0.05 millimeter. So here we can observe that the sandy soil has the large soil particles, clay has the finest, and silt has the mid particle size between sand and the clay. Moving on to the properties of soil. So first we'll talk about the percolation rate of water in the soil. So first you need to know that what is percolation rate. Percolation rate is the property of the soil by which it allows the downward flow of water through it. That means the soil which allows the flow of water through it, downward flow of water through it, that percolation rate is high. So the soil which takes, it is a formula also that the amount of water percolation rate is equals to amount of water upon the percolation time. You can here observe that percolation time is inversely proportional. That means the soil which take more time to percolate, that percolation time is comparatively less. Okay, so if I talk of clay soil, say, so clay soil, I have told you it retains a large amount of water, so percolation time is very less. So its percolation rate is very high. Hope you get it. So percolation rate of clay soil is very less because it takes a large amount of time to percolate the water in the downward direction. Now moving to the moisture, we all know that moisture means the water holding capacity. So even dry soil has some amount of moisture in it. So clay soil, if we talk of clay soil, that has a highest content of moisture. Every soil has some amount of water and air in it. And if we talk of the highest content of moisture which is present, it is the clay soil, and the driest soil is sandy soil. So here are some properties with comparative structure. So if we talk of the water holding capacity, so it is highest in clay soil and lowest in sandy soil. drainage rate, that is percolation rate. So it is very low in clay soil because it takes a lot of time to percolate, and sandy soil has the highest drainage rate. Cohesion between the particles, that is attraction between soil particles. In sandy soil it's very low, they have the bigger size of particles, and in clay soil the particles are very fine, so the cohesion is very high. And silt you can observe it's medium to high or low to medium. In every case it's usually medium to high. Similarly, humus or the organic material content is low in sandy soil, so it doesn't support agriculture or the growth of plants. And in clay, it is also medium to high because it retain a large amount of water. Somehow it is also not good for all the plants, uh, because all plants do not require such large amount of water. Shrink and swell potential, that means the soil who shrink and swell well. So if we talk of soil, if you take some water and put some sandy soil in it, so you see it will not shrink or swell well. But if you talk of clay soil, the clay soil can shrink very well when it is being put into the water. So these are the some properties of various kinds of soil. Now moving to soil and crops. So here we mean the type of crop that will grow in the soil. So it depends on number of factors like temperature, humidity, rainfall, sunlight, wind, and along with obviously the properties of soil. So here I will discuss about which type of soil supports which type of plant growth. So as you can see here in the picture, that if we talk of the sandy soil, then sandy soil, which is found usually in the deserts, very dry soil, it doesn't support the growth of crops because the particle size are quite big. So water percolates very quickly, and it also carries away the nutrients, which is also called as the leaching of nutrients. So that makes the soil unfit for the growth of plants, but still it supports some crops like potato, lettuce, corn, and peppers. Second is clay soil. It is not good for all kind of plants because it can retain a large amount of water. Water retaining capacity is very high of the clay soil. So if rainfall takes place, so water logging also takes place. So only the crops which require large amount of water grow well in clay soil. So that are wheat and paddy. And loamy soil last is suitable for the growing of crops like lentils or masood and grams. Such soil doesn't show any water logging, and so water is easily drained out of it. So um, this is the end of our chapter. Hope you like my video. If you do like, please keep on sharing and liking my videos. Thank you very much.